Hey folks, welcome back to my YouTube. I wanted to provide a quick update on Bitcoin. I know a lot of people have been texting me and asking me about what's been going on, so I wanted to provide a quick update. But before I went into the technicals, I did want to sort of recap uh, really my last video. So if you haven't watched my last YouTube video, I'd highly recommend. It goes a lot into my profit taking strategy and pretty much a review of kind of what we went through on the last one. But I wanted to make sure and update everyone on the current progress. So on my last video that I put on April 11th, I put for this year, I put a target of 115,000 to 142,000. I go into a little bit more in depth as to how I got that number. So please check out my video. On my last video, we were at 58,000. I took my first profit there at 64,000. I think it topped right there at 65,000 um, just about a month ago. And so my next profit taking strategy will be at 93,000. Again, I go into a little bit more in depth in my last video about the profit taking strategy, so I won't go too much into that. But I did want to let people know that I took the profit there on at 64,000. I did want to recap also, things to watch out for fundamentally. Look, you know, I will go through the 2013 and 2017 cycle as Bitcoin is very cyclical. And I'll go through that technically to kind of help people understand that, I'm seeing very similar things from what we saw from 2013. So I'll go into a little bit more in depth on that. Look, taxes were due. One of the sayings go is, um, you know, go ahead and sell in May and go away. And that's something that has traditionally, even in the stock markets, over a long period of time, 30 or 40 years, May just hasn't been a good month across all markets. And so, um, and that was something that I could see that people were going to try to take profits to help with their taxes that were due. So that was something fundamentally I kind of touched on the last video as well. You know, one of the things that we're starting to see, of course, is we're starting to see a new wave of Bitcoin people in, right? And so as people don't understand the process of how this Bitcoin works, I get it. I mean, it is very volatile. It is not 5% here, 10% here, 20% there. But here's the thing: is that volatility make people a lot of money, and that's why people are currently earn cryptocurrency right now. There's a lot of individuals who are making a lot of money, but uh, one of the things about the one of the things about this Bitcoin cycle is fear and greed. So you can be up very high, and you think that it would go. Uh, you think you could go much higher, but when you get that feeling, uh, and then with the volatility around it, you will see very quickly that you will be, you know, awoken pretty quickly with fear. And what I mean by this is really small term traders and thinkers. For the long term holders, it doesn't, things like this aren't going to phase you. I mean, personally, right now, like I said, I've been in this since the end of 2017. I've seen the volatility go from 20 to 3,000. I mean, I know how this works, and so that's why I put these videos out to educate you guys. Like you can make a lot of money, but you got to be smart. You got to be smart. It's not always going to go up, so you got to be able to take profits when you can, catch a later buy, and then ride this thing out. So, but this market will test your fear and greed. And so, as I put out there, when people are fearful, be greedy. When people are greedy, be fearful. So, um, just wanted to state that out there. So anyway, so what we saw, I believe here fundamentally is We saw a lot of people panic sell. I mean, they saw their Bitcoin go up, and probably other people are in alternative coins, probably go up, and they had no idea that it would just smash. This isn't like the stock market where it just gradually goes up 1 or 2% for the next 10, 20 years. This will go up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% in the next 10, 20 years, but it'll have some large dips. It'll have some very large dips, and you got to be able to hold. But I think that's what we experienced just recently. Um, so on my last video, I also said, look, I'm not naive to think that there isn't any correlation with the stock market. And so I am seeing some signs into that. Now, clearly, it's a little bit more drastic. As the stock market goes a couple percent down, Bitcoin goes like 10 to 20% down. So again, it's I am starting to see a lot more correlation from what I saw a month ago. It isn't 100% definite, but there is correlation. There is, and so you know, one of the things that I had stated um, on my last video was, you know, one of the things that I fear is a stock market crash during this Bitcoin cycle this year, and that would plummet the Bitcoin price to go with it. And so I haven't necessarily, I've seen a stock market correction, I haven't seen a crash, but we definitely did see a Bitcoin crash, right? But I just wanted to keep people aware that, you know, as you're in Bitcoin, it wouldn't be it would be a good idea to also check the S&P 500 and I'll give updates on those as well, just to kind of see where it's at from that standpoint. So technically is where I want to go and spend the majority of my time are the monthly green candles. So as you saw in my last video, if you watched it, I did say, look, we are due for a correction. Now, I did not expect this big of a correction. I think in my video I said, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit where we're at right now, which is around 40,000. Now we also wicked down almost like 29, 30,000. But I said I wouldn't be surprised if that would occur. Because look, guys, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We shot up like a rocket ship. And I said, look, guys, the more that we shoot up, the faster this goes. And so, you know, look, we are um, we are due. We are due, as we were in April. We were due for a correction, and we were also due for a correction here. The more that we can correct, the farther we can go. Right now, there's also a point where if it gets too low, then it could go way low. Which I will say that, you know, uh, yeah, I mean, if we get below like 25,000, yeah, that would be a little worrisome. Now, this would be kind of my worst case scenario, but I mean, I will say that, look, guys, this is the best buying opportunity that ever. This is a blessing for most people, because as everybody wanted to kind of get in at lower prices, like this is it. You know, um, I will say this on here. I go, look, I don't believe this year we are going under 20,000, and if we do, I mean, I may just go all in. I mean, that's how convicted I am. But I don't think we're going to see it. And as this year goes on, we will never see under $20,000. That's just what I think. And if we do, I just want to let you know how strongly convicted I am. But I think worst case scenario, I'm looking around 25,000 would be the worst. And it may just be a quick couple hour dip, and that's it. You know. But so again, on my last video, I predicted about a 40,000. Uh, I wasn't surprised to see 40,000 drop, but I was definitely taken back to see 29. So um, again, this is a healthy correction. So why did I feel like we were due for a correction? So I wanted to go back, like I said, and provide my scenarios as to why. So what I said to you guys is, look, in 2013, we did the same thing. We had multiple candles go up green, and then we had two red candles go down, right? And what I said was, you know, so this was like a 67% correction. At the time, I was like, that's nuts. I don't see that happening. Um, but now that I think about it, as I look into where we are at now, from the high to the low, I mean, now I don't even at 25,000, I mean, that may not even be a surprise anymore. But with that said, I told you guys that I was looking at 2013 as sort of a waiver as far as where I think that we were headed. And it was the same thing, guys. April, we took off, right? Just like you're seeing here. April, we took off, right? May, we had a down month, and even June, we had a down month. In July, we had a down month. Oh, we picked it up a little bit. But as that occurred, boom, we took off like a rocket ship. Okay. We literally went from this low to this high 1,600%, 1,700%. Now, I'm not predicting that that's going to happen for Bitcoin. That would make the price um, like 10 times, almost $1 million. I don't think that will happen. But I do think that we're going to see May, probably close right around 45,000. That's probably what I'll start to see toward the end of May. June, it may be boring. We may just kind of float around this area. And then July, it could be the same thing. I mean, it could be some boring months, guys. It could be some boring months of up and down. But here's the thing is you got to be smart about this. This is the best time to accumulate. Dollar cost average. Put a little bit in, put a little bit in. And I'm still a believer that this will be over 100,000 as I predicted. But you're gonna have to be patient. This is gonna have to build up, and I strongly believe that we're gonna go higher. Um, so I'm sticking to my prediction. So two things I wanted to show. So a lot of people are talking on this Wyckoff chart, which, crazy enough, played out exactly the way. Um, I mean, if you look at, I have it on the monthly, but let me see if I can. So this, let's see. So crazy enough, this this played out exactly how this looks, right? And what we're seeing here is phase E. But what people haven't shown you guys is this is the phase that it sort of goes down, like you're seeing over here. But what people haven't showed you is what happens when after phase E. Well, guys, check this out. This is when you have, this is when you reset. So um, this is this is what's called the accumulation schematic. So this is what I'm kind of wanting to see as we sort of move forward, which is this one. So let's see. So if we've already ended the phase E, like I just showed you, then which is right here, right? We are looking for some chop action to kind of get back up. Again, this may take a couple months to chop around. People may get bored. People may just see sell and say this is it or this is over. And I'm here to kind of tell you guys if you do that, uh, you know, well, I mean, I guess it's your choice and your decision. And I totally forgot to Oh, I think I did say this. I forgot that. Again, this is a disclaimer. This is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes. But anyway, so this is what I'm looking for as we move on. Let's see here. I will say this, guys. One of the things that I experienced at the end of 2017 that I wanted to kind of let you know, like I don't have a timeline of this could happen. I don't. Most people are predicting like, oh, this is going to end at the end of this year, and you know, the bull run could continue until next year. But what I'm really, really looking for is one of the things that you'll start to see is, or I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent here. So anyway, I wanted to go back to 2013. So, or no, I'm sorry, 2000, yeah, 2013. So one of the things that you'll notice when a Bitcoin is about to probably end the Bitcoin cycle is when you start to see crazy weekly candles go very high. I mean, if you look, guys, like Bitcoin in like, let's see, like in 2013 went from like $498 to almost 1169 in like 2 weeks. So if you look in December of what I experienced in 2 weeks, it went from $10,000 to $20,000. We haven't really experienced that, you know, in my point of view of how quickly, um, you know, um, it occurred like in 2017 where we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. Sorry guys, my dog's here. We have had 3 green candles in play, but you know, nothing like with the run up that we had in 2017, where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then blast off. You know, we've had, you know, a good 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down. But I'm telling you guys, you will see boom, 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 boom. It'll happen so fast, it'll be very euphoric. And you know, I'll try to let you guys know when I feel that euphoric feeling. But right now, I think this is just a healthy correction. I don't think it was, um, you know, I don't think we've experienced this euphoric feeling where Bitcoin's just dramatically gone up. So anyways, I wanted to provide you a quick update, guys. Please subscribe to my channel with more updates. I also want to kind of share with you some other indicators that'll help you along the way, short term. Also, make sure you like the video, share it, like it. I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much.